All right, we are live now. Hi, Wykin. Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Henry.
Hi,
Jeff.
Hi.
Hi, Wakey.
How's everyone doing? Good?
Good. It's pretty windy here in Singapore.
That's awesome.
All right, let me have a quick look. We have quite a number of attendees today. Let's give us a couple more minutes. There's a lot more attendees to join us, and for those who come in on time, I'd like to grab this opportunity to say welcome and thank you for taking time to join us for this webinar on this Saturday afternoon. All right, so just hanging there. Give us a couple more minutes. Okay. Wow, we have quite a good turnout. We have Mr. Andy, Mr. Ng, Mr. Leong, Kerry. We have Jericho. Very good. So by the way, how's the weather over there in Jeff? Jeff is based in Malaysia.
Yeah, it's quite sunny now. I think for the past few days, quite hot as usual in Malaysia. Yeah.
Cool. And how about Wykin?
Well, we are at the same country anyway, so it's pretty windy and pretty wet, I would say. It's been raining for non-stop for the past few days, so which is good. Yeah.
It's pretty windy these 2 days.
Yeah. Correct. So if I actually open up my windows, I guess you'll hear those moving sound from the wind itself. It's crazy.
All right, for those people who just join us, to make sure that you're in the right place at the right time. All right, welcome again to our webinar this Saturday afternoon. So basically today we're going to feature a Perth development, very in a very good location with very attractive incentive, which will come to that towards the end of our presentation. Yeah, Perth. So sadly to say, I have not been to Perth. I've been to Melbourne a couple of times. How about Wykin and Jeff?
Yeah, pretty much every year. Since I'm in this industry itself, so yeah, it's not too bad. Pretty like Perth. It's a bit quiet, but yeah, it's a good place to hang out though. I got a lot of friends in staying in Perth at this point, like Malaysians, Singaporeans, and Hong Kongers is all there. Most of my friends. Yeah.
Perth is very relaxed city, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty laid back, but yeah, and a lot of good Malaysian food. To be honest, if you go over to Perth itself, you can find quite authentic Malaysian foods around in the suburbs area. Yeah.
And I believe there's Chinatown there as well.
Yeah. The Chinatown opened at 6 in the morning in North Bridge area. Yeah, so it's catered to all those clubbers and stuff. After clubs, go for suppers. Pretty authentic Chinese foods, I'd say.
I think for my side, since young, I have this understanding that Australia Down Under is one of the really top destination or top hotspot for not just Singaporeans or Malaysians, basically the Asian countries, because it's like the nearest Western country, to us.
In the same time zone.
Yeah, in the Asia Pacific, unlike the Europe, unlike the US, that we have to take, so many hours of flight to get over. And then, with this current pandemic is still out there. So I think we really miss traveling.
Tell me about it. Yeah.
Okay, so how about this? I think to be fair to those attendees that really join us, we shall not keep them waiting.
Yeah.
All right, let's begin our presentation. And again, I'd like to welcome everyone to join us. And today we're going to talk about and feature Perth development in a prime location. And this project is actually by Frasers Property. A very quick introduction. We have two other handsome gentlemen with us today. All right, I'd like to start with Mr. Wykin. He is representing the Frasers Property. Wykin, you want to say hi to them?
Hi, everyone.
All right, so later Waikin will share with us more about how's the Perth market, what is the development. All right, and also co-host with me is Mr. Jeff, based in Malaysia, Jalin, Malaysia.
Hi everyone. Yeah.
All right, so without further ado, I'd like to, this is our disclaimer slide for the today's presentation. Right, and as norm before, I'd like to take some airtime to introduce who we are as Jalin Realty. Before that, I'd like to play a corporate video, so please enjoy.
总部位于澳大利亚墨尔本的嘉宁国际是一家专注于房地产服务的专业机构。创立至今的30多年来，嘉宁国际以德为本，以诚立身，辛勤耕耘，积累了丰富的房产物业投资经验，足迹遍布了澳大利亚、中国、新加坡、马来西亚、印尼、文莱和香港等国家和地区。30多年来，嘉宁始终坚持着公司的愿景与理念，以职业道德为价值观，帮助每一位客户成功置业澳洲。
嘉宁国际地产公司能从马来西亚、印度尼西亚、新加坡、澳大利亚和中国持续成长30多年，是全靠嘉宁长期坚持公司的理念和愿景而来。嘉宁是个专业的服务公司，我们的平台是通过房地产这个渠道，制造许多实际与可靠的机会，与大家分享，让大家生活变得更美好。
Our core values are derived from the word ethics, and we break it into excellence in performance, teamwork among our employees, honesty in our business dealings, integrity and innovation in our actions, commitment towards our work, and sincere relationship.
与澳洲数百家开发商均有着长期而稳定的友好合作，其代理的众多地产项目遍布悉尼、墨尔本、布里斯班、黄金海岸、珀斯等首府城市。优越的地段、舒适便捷的生活环境、具有竞争力的价格，每一个项目都经过筛选。成熟的团队和后期服务部门，也为嘉宁的客户提供了舒心的投资体验。客户的认可是对嘉宁最大的鼓励。每一位嘉宁人将始终坚持嘉宁的愿景与理念，不断提高自身专业水平和服务，助您更加安心地置业澳洲。嘉宁国际，圆您澳洲梦。
We are Jialing Melbourne. We are Jialing Shanghai.
We are Jialing Beijing.
We are Jialing Singapore. We are Jialing Jakarta.
We are Jialing Malaysia.
All right, welcome back. And I think I forgot to introduce myself. All right, so my name is Henry. I'm based in Singapore and with Jalin Singapore for the last 7 years. So as everyone can see from the video, we are actually not a new company. We are not a fly-by-night company. We've been here for years, and we actually been working with a lot of reputable developers. All right, so very quick intro of who we are. So we are actually we are a project real estate marketing agency. We've been here, and over the years we have actually expanded our presence around the region. We have offices in definitely in Malaysia, Singapore. We also have them in Indonesia, China, and our latest addition is actually in Hong Kong. And with that, in fact, our CEO, Mr. Ian Chen, actually set up a office in Australia, Melbourne as well. And over there, we are able to work very closely with developers, and we even able to provide our clients, end-to-end solution. It's no longer a sales and marketing of just selling projects to investors, to buyers, but we also go to the stage where when the project is completion, we have the settlement. We have a settlement team in Melbourne to assist our clients to take over the keys, the unit, and the next area of where investors are concerned is the project management. So we have our leasing department in Melbourne as well, and ultimately for owners that wants to offload their properties, we also have the resale, which is typically an auction resale in Australia. All right, so again, today we are very honored to have our guest speaker, Mr. Wykin from Frasers Property. But for any client who have like to find out more of who we are, what we do, what other projects we carry, you can contact us, email us. All right, I'd like to bring Wykin back, but I think before that, let's have the Frasers corporate video, shall we?
Yep, sure.
All right, so please enjoy.
It's a story as old as time, the desire to put down roots, to create a safe place, to live well, to leave a legacy. For tens of thousands of years, this has been the story of human progress, and for the last 95 years, it's been our story too. From humble beginnings in 1924 to a global 21st century leader today, the scale and ambition of Frasers Property Australia's projects may have grown, but our driving philosophy remains the same: to build places that people will be proud to call home.
Frasers Property has been developing residential property in Australia now for over 90 years, and during this time we've established a business that puts the customer at the heart of everything we do. This ethos means that we have a commitment to both quality and design, and that means that we can complete developments which align with not only our company values, but mean that we can meet and exceed purchasers' expectations as well. I personally think you know when you enter a great master plan community or a really good building. It just has that fantastic feeling, and that's something at Frasers Property we strive for. So this means that we're highly selective in the projects we take on, and then meticulously plan and manage the developments from start to finish.
All of those personal relationships through my family, who obviously mean a lot, who were my backbone through this whole process, and always, it was so important that I had that extended family throughout Frasers Property, the whole process.
I think Frasers has done a great job in creating a space where people can come together, and you can see it at the park downstairs. People just talk to each other because the space is set up that way. And the kids start playing together and then the parents start talking.
Frasers really valued, I think, us and our family, and we had the same values as Frasers. It was more about the family, the community, and keeping it local.
You know, this is 15 years of work for a lot of our guys, and they sit back and the satisfaction is just, it's quite overwhelming, it's moving, because you just see these people who are just in love with where they live, and to me that's what the job's all about.
From Sydney's iconic new downtown, Central Park, with its breathtaking architecture and internationally acclaimed green initiatives, and the entertainment and food-centric neighbourhoods of Ed Square and Sydney's southwest, to the rooftop farm atop the world's most sustainable shopping centre in Melbourne's Burwood Brickworks, or the 9.5 hectares of interconnected open spaces at Life Point Cook, as well as Port Coogie's stunning coastal lifestyle and world-class marina in Western Australia, and the community connectedness of Brookhaven. Every Frasers Property project is designed to enhance the livability, well-being and social connection of the people who live there. We're now in our 10th decade of business. A lot's changed. But one thing that hasn't is the reason we do what we do. We build places for people. Places that bring comfort and make life a little easier. Places that future generations will love and enjoy. Warm, welcoming, healthy places. It's a pretty simple story, really.
All right. I guess Frasers is not new to anyone, to all the attendees here. All right, and then we're going to bring you Mr. Waikin is going to share with us about the Perth market. We're going to feature the development, and we're going to have a Q&A session at the end, towards the end of this webinar. So without further ado, pass the time over to Waikin. All yours, Waikin.
Thank you, Henry. So hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Waikin and I'm the Regional Sales Manager for Frasers Property Australia, currently based in Singapore and look after the Southeast Asia market. So today I'm actually going to share with you, a little bit about the Perth property markets and also one of our developments in East Perth itself. So before that, I'd just like to give you a quick recap about, about who is Frasers, about us itself. So Frasers Property is actually one of the Australia leading diversified property groups. So as according to the video itself, we have a rich history backdated to 1924 with the inception of TM Burke. And I believe a lot of you, if let's say, some of you probably would be familiar about the Australand name itself. So yes, Australand is actually part of Frasers Property before, itself. So basically, Frasers Property acquired Australand back in 2014, and from that onwards, Australand has already rebranded adopt to the Frasers Property Group brand, and now we're actually part of the global Frasers Property Groups. So our activities actually covered the developments of residential land, housing and apartments, commercials, retails, industrial properties, investment properties, as well as property management. So what we stand for, there's actually 5 points that we stand very firmly with, which is one of it is longevity. So as mentioned earlier, it's actually close to 10 decades of history in Australia itself. So that actually tells you a lot about us because experience matters. So secondly itself, because we care about our loyalty customer itself, and especially created a prosperity program for our loyalty customer itself, which I'll be sharing with you more in my next couple of slides. Yep. So third of all, we are reliable. So first of all, from the point of view purchase a property from Frasers Property itself, until the day you settle your properties, and after you settle your properties, we'll still be there at your service itself. So we have our property service teams, readily at your service, and we have the app itself for our customer to actually get in touch with our personal service team to assist on your queries about your property itself. So fourth point is actually community. So because we actually care about our customer health and well-being itself, so we don't just build you a property in Australia itself. We build you a master plan community where all the township, open space, everything is readily in the master plan itself, so that our residents in that community itself can actually come out to mingle around, and also we also on and off we also host some of the campaign activities. Like Christmas parties and etc. for the residents to actually come out to hang around with each other, to get to know each other. And so one of it is we also putting in a private trainer program in our master plan committee itself. So at a weekly basis, we actually have this outdoor workout session for the residents to come out to sweat it up. So all this is actually part of our commitment and is all free for our residents to use. Yep. And last but not least is actually quality assured. So we are actually one of the most awarded developers in Australia itself. So from the awards from sustainable home design and also green awards and etc., you name it. So next on, so how have we grown in Australia itself? So as you can see from the right corner itself, there's a map and there's a little red dots on the map itself. That is actually our global footprint. So we have our global footprints in more than 80 cities globally. So a very global family, but local at heart and international of mind. Yep. So Frasers Property Limited itself has 3 real estate investment trusts, and one of it is actually listed in the Singapore Exchange. Yep. And just now I did mention about the prosperity reward itself. So this is actually our loyalty program for our customer. So as soon as our purchaser purchase a first property from us, be it from Australian time or maybe Frasers Property time, so you will be automatic become our loyalty customer. So what do you, what this loyalty program can, benefit you from is, first of all, we actually created an app especially for our customer to actually get access to your dedicated prosperity care team to answer to your queries if you have any, and also to access to your property portfolio, like let's say your contract of sales and your rental. If let's say you're using our property management, we were actually putting up your statements and stuff into this app itself, so you can view your property documents on the go itself. And also last but not least, to receive our latest exclusive offer and also rewards that we are partnership with our partners itself. So there's actually three things that I would like to highlight to you of the perks itself. So first of all, I guess this is the most interesting one. It's actually the repeat purchase award. So as soon as you purchase a property from us and at the time that you want to purchase second properties, you will be receiving a 2% discount from your purchase price without any questions. Yep. And if let's say third properties onwards, we will be giving you the 3% discount at your purchase price itself. And that's all. Third and onwards is all fixed at 3%. And if you have any family members that would like to purchase from us, and you can actually share these prosperity awards, purchase rewards to your family member. So basically, when they purchase, they will get a discount, and in return, you'll be receiving a 2,000 bonus as a referral fee itself. And also, one of the things that I would like to highlight is actually the priority notification. So this priority notification is actually quite benefiting to our prosperity client because, first of all, you will be receiving the priority notification on our latest release in our master plan development before the public release itself. So basically, you can actually, stand a chance to purchase a property right before the public release. And this has been pretty well received by our prosperity client itself, because most of the master plan that we release, I would say 60 to 70% of the property snap off during this prosperity release itself. And it just happened 2 weeks ago on one of our developments. Yep. So last but not least, this is actually the communities itself. Just like as I mentioned, we don't just build you a master plan developments, we build you a community as well. So like on the right hand side, all those pictures is actually taken from our recent event. Our not so recent, I would say, because 2020 hit by the pandemic itself, we can't actually gather. So all these pictures is actually taken back in 2019. So like all these Christmas party, wine tasting, and also Live Life Get Active, which is the workout session that we held in our master plan development itself at weekly basis. It's one of the most well received program that we have in our master plan developments itself. Yep. So next on, I would like to share with you a little bit about the Perth property markets. So as you know, Perth property itself, has been loomed since the mining boom industry itself, and now we're actually, having a lot of articles coming out that to show that the Perth is actually recovering and on an upswing itself. Yep. So this is actually the Mastusik property clock updates, which show you that the Perth is actually on a recovery mode at this point. Yeah. So next on, also based according to CoreLogix and also ANZ research itself, the Perth property itself at this moment is having a very strong recovery. As you can see, the blue color line itself is actually representing the Perth, and the orange color or maybe gold is actually combined 8 capital cities weightage at average itself. And you can see the Perth property market, the brand is actually going pretty strong at this point. Yeah. And why invest in Perth? That's a lot of noise about talking about the properties in Perth itself past years. But this year itself, we are actually experiencing a lot of positive capital gain in Perth property itself. And according to ANZ, October this year will be the bottom of the housing price cycle in Australia, especially in Perth itself. And we are actually expecting an average 9% gain in 2021. Which you can see the red color circle, that's actually the Perth property market, and pretty stand out as compared to the other cities in Australia. Yeah. So that's not just all. According to Chief Economist Bill Evans and also Senior Economist Matthew Hassan, they actually predicted that Perth property will lead by massive gain of approximate 18% in the next couple of years. So from now until 2023, we are expecting approximate 18% gain in the property markets in Perth itself. Yeah. So, of course, that's not just all. According to realestate.com.au itself, they actually did a research about the total searches in throughout the whole Australia states. And it actually resulted that Perth properties is actually one of the most searches in among the Australia states itself. As you can see on the highlighted circle, it's actually 44% of the searches is actually in the midst of thinking to purchase a properties, and 22% it's actually looking at rental itself. Yep. And also at this point, Perth itself is actually facing a very low vacancy. We are looking at around 0.9% vacancy rates in Perth property market itself. And the researchers is actually saying that they are actually expecting, the vacancy rate will hit 0 in next year itself. So basically we could run out any property for rental in early 2021, because right now out of 100 properties in the market itself, there's only less than 1 property is available for rental at this point. Yep. So this is actually the the vacancy rates among all the capital cities. As you can see, Perth, the yellow color one, is actually one of the lowest of all. At 0.9% at this point. Yep. So next one, we'd like to touch a bit about the the Western Australia overview. As you know, WA itself, Western Australia itself, is actually a major hub for the global mining resources sector. So according to the chief economic, Perth has actually committed mining, oil and gas and infrastructure projects, combined project value of approximate 14.9 billion. So it's representing approximate 49% of total value committed projects across Australia. So that's actually what it actually bringing up the economy itself, and accounted for approximately 48% of total value of all goods exported from Australia. So that's not just all. We also have a lot of world university ranking in in Perth itself, like Curtin, Murdoch universities, and also UWA. And the best of all, it's the friendly time zone. So basically, the Perth itself is actually same time zone as Southeast Asia itself. So a lot of our clients are actually sending their kids over to Perth for study because of this issue, and also it's very close to us. It's only less than 4 hours air flight to Perth at this point. Yeah. So next on, we'd like to touch a bit about the infrastructures itself. So as you can see, there's a lot of things are actually ongoing at this point in Perth itself. So one of it is actually the Waka Stadium, which is right behind of Queen's Garden. They're actually going to refurbish this cricket ground itself. So with all these ongoing infrastructures, it will definitely benefiting to Perth economies as well as the employment growth rate itself. So at this point, the employment rates are, it's at pretty high in Perth itself. And we are expecting the population growth in Perth itself from 2016 to 2041 will add additional approximate 12,000 new residents in East Perth itself, not the whole Perth, but just in East Perth itself. Yep. So it's actually, the growth is very much higher than, Perth itself. It's actually Perth, you're looking around 2.2%. But in East Perth itself, you're looking at about 4.2% growth per annum. Yep. So a majority of the the population who stay in East Perth itself, you're looking at around young professionals who work in the CBD. So age is approximate 25 to 39 years old, which is pretty young professionals, I would say. And majority of them are actually renting nearby in East Perth area itself. So if you're to ask whether it's time to it's a good time to purchase a property in East Perth, I would say yes. At this moment, it's really a good time for you to consider. Yep. So next on the the residential market analysis itself. So as you can see, the rental yields and East Perth markets, East Perth itself is predominantly being an apartments market. So the rental yield itself is actually much more higher as compared to the CBD area. So like if you look at the median price itself, so East Perth, you're looking at around 480,000. It's much higher as compared to CBD, Northbridge, and etc. Yep. So and also the high, as you know, it's a predominantly rental market. So the rental yield itself is actually much higher as compared to the whole greater Perth itself. So you're looking at around 62% of the total property in East Perth itself is actually rental. And at this point, we're actually facing the sharpest decline in rental vacancy across the whole capital city itself. So basically, we're actually running out of units for rental. And just to share with you a little bit about our projects itself. So at this point, it's completed. And most of the unit that has been sold is all fully tenanted at this moment. Yep. So we're actually having a special release of 12 units in this complex itself for foreign purchaser, and that's a very, very attractive incentive, which I believe Henry or maybe Jeff will be able to share with you after this webinar itself. Yep. So right next, I would like to introduce you our development itself. It's actually called Queen's Riverside at East Perth itself, along Adelaide Terraces. Yep. So if you are familiar with Perth itself and often travel to Perth, and if you are staying in CBD and travel to South itself, you'll probably pass by our development itself. It's actually just right next to Burswood. Yep, along Adelaide Terraces. Probably more familiar to you is actually our hotel, Frasers Suites. So these three buildings is actually surrounding the Frasers Suites itself. So Frasers Suites is one of the building. Okay, then there's two apartments residential complex in this location itself. Yep. So Queen's Riverside is actually the Perth first premium residence quarter in East Perth. So before us, there's no residential premium luxury apartments along this location itself. And actually, we are the first. It's comprised of 4 towers, 3 residential, and 1 hotel. And it's approximate 2.5 kilometers away from CBD. So when I was in Perth itself, I usually would stay in Frasers Suites. So I usually, in the morning itself, I like to do some run along the Swan River itself. And it's a pretty good run, I would say, in this location. So other than that, you're actually located at a very convenient location because there's actually a free city cat zone just right in front of this development itself. So it will bring you all the way to to UWA, to CBD, or maybe South Perth itself, and you are only 300 meters away to Queen's Garden, one of the the gardens just right behind the complex itself, and 400 meters away from Waka Stadium, and approximately 700 meters away to Trinity College. Yeah. So I have already touched through all these earlier. So basically, just some of the point I would like to highlight to you. Queen's Riverside itself features high quality finishes and fittings. So including the stone bench top, Italian ceramic tiles, ducted air conditioning, and also smart appliances. Yep. We also putting in some world class facility, include an outdoor heated infinity pool, and also 2 Japanese style alfresco hot tub, poolside BBQ pits, and also cinema theater in this complex itself. And all the facilities is actually located in Queen Q3 building. Yeah, we also have a concierge services. So if we know that nowadays a lot of people are very into online purchase and stuff like that, and when you're not at home, there's no one helping you to receive your parcel. But we have a concierge service for this sort of problem, taken care of. So this is actually some of the models that we actually taken from our sales office itself. So as you can see, Frasers Suites is actually on the left corner, and Q3 is one of the tallest building, just right next to it. Yep. And Q1 itself is right behind of Frasers Suites, as you can see from these pictures. Yep. So a little bit about the East Perth itself. Just now, basically, I touched mostly of it. We are actually very, very close to the Crown's Casino, and that's this Mata Garut Bridge, which completed back in 2018. It's actually connecting East Perth to to the Burswood itself. It's a pretty nice walk. I usually will walk over to the Burswood area for dinner sometimes. So along East Perth itself, there's a lot of food and beverage, especially from the point itself, which is along the Swan River. There's quite a number of fine dining that you can actually consider, and also one of the celebrity restaurant called Halum is actually at Frasers Suites lobby itself, which is serving quite a good pasta there. Yep. So these are some of the places to visit nearby, like outdoor activities. You are very close to the Ozone Reserve Park, which is just right before the Swan River. Then you have Lake Westall Public Playground, and all this is actually it's a very, very, very good open space for the residents to to hang around during the weekend, do their outdoor activities, and etc. Yeah. So East Perth, Queen Riverside itself, Q3 is actually the first residential buildings among this whole master plan itself. First building to be completed, and consists of 267 units across 26 stories. As I mentioned earlier, all the facilities is actually located in this building itself, like all the gym, the swimming pools and stuff is actually located in this building. Yeah. So second buildings that complete is actually Q2. which is featuring approximate 107 units across 7-story, which is one of the lowest density apartments that we have in this complex. And the last but not least is the building that we are featuring today. It's the final building that is completed in Queen Riverside itself, featuring 126 units. And there's actually 2 buildings co-joined by a sky bridge over Borrellat Lane at level 2. So we still have approximate 12 units available for foreign buyers itself. And we are actually offering a very good incentive at this point. Yeah. So next on, I would like to pass back the screen to Jeff and Henry to share with you more about the availability units. Yep, Henry and Jeff, back to you.
Right. Thank you, Waikin. Just one thing to catch up. I think let's probably play the video to show them. All right.
Yep.
So that kind of summarize, what you have shared with us for the project. So let's start with the video.
Yep, sure. Forgotten about it.
No worries.
Hello, welcome to Queen's Riverside. My name is Marian. I am the project sales manager here. Today I'd like to show you some of the luxury apartments we have for sale at Queen's. Please come on in. So at Queen's Riverside, we've got 4 towers. We've got the Frasers Suites Hotel, we've got Q3, we've got Q2 and Q1. In Q3 comprises of 267 apartments. Currently, we've only got 3 left. We've got the sub-penthouse on the 24th floor, and we've got 2 townhouses on the ground floor overlooking Moro Parade. In Q2, that comprises of about 107 apartments, and currently we've only got 10 apartments left. 1 studio apartment and 9 apartments comprising of 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms in total. Queen's Riverside is luxury living at its best, with Perth CBD at your doorstep. Fantastic amenities, which includes a concierge service, 25-meter pool, 2 Japanese hot tubs, a fully equipped gym, a residence lounge, and a cinema. Queen's Riverside is located among some of Perth's iconic destinations. The Waka, the Queen's Garden is just across the street. You've got Optus Stadium, Crown Perth, and the Swan River foreshore are all in walking distance. Located in East Perth, you can enjoy a convenient lifestyle here with easy access to transport links and cafes. Residents also enjoy secure living with boom-controlled access to 2 levels of basement parking with a dedicated bay, storage facility, bike rack, and secured lift access throughout the building. So if you're looking for luxury, convenience, and a lock-and-live lifestyle, then Queen's Riverside's perfect for you. If you would like some more information, please do not hesitate to email or call me. Alternatively, if you would like a face-to-face appointment, we can arrange a Skype meeting. I look forward to seeing you soon.
All right, welcome back. So before we start to talk about the individual lots, I think I'm not sure anyone saw what we saw in the video was fantastic. It is not those images that, off the plan kind of image. This is a completed project. I look at the views, I look at the finishing of the product. It is fabulous by the, renowned developer Frasers. So
I agree. We can see the actual finishing in the video just now, which is a very nice community, and also with surrounding with all the amenities as well. So it's a very, very nice project, master plan project by Frasers Property.
Yeah, absolutely. So as mentioned earlier by Waikin, we only have 12 units available for foreign purchase, FRB lots, and later introduction of the star buys, we will bring you some more good news.
Yep. So actually, to start off with, we have selected 3 star buy unit for today. So this is the only one bedroom unit left, I think, available for foreign purchase at the moment, which is a 1-bed, 1-bath unit located in the Q1 North building, which is called A. So this is apartment 021, which is located in level 2. So one of the attractive package for this lot is because it's located in the smaller building, which is only consists of total 16 units across the building. Yeah, so it's very, very low in density, and also it's across 4 levels. So you can see here the internal size of the unit is actually 40 square meter, and also with the external balcony with a 9 square meter. So you can see this is actually a proper 1 bed, 1 bathroom unit, which the living, kitchen, and also the bathroom is separated. And you can see on top of the layout, on the left hand side, which is the bathroom, which is in ensuite in the bedroom itself, and then the living room and the balcony is on the bottom side. Yeah. So for this unit, is a very interesting entry pricing. So which is at 322,000 only. Yeah. So this is one of the first Starbuy unit we have chosen for a one bedroom unit, which is the last as well. Yeah. So move on. I think the next one, which is a 2-bedroom unit. So I think Henry will share more on this one.
Well, I guess very quickly on this, on back to the 1 bed, 1 bath. Yeah. It's really a price that we no longer see in developments that is, in a prime location, in a good location, near to the amenities ground, near to the city. So let me move on to a 2 bed, 2 bath. This is our lowest price 2 bed, 2 bath unit for investors who wants to look at a bigger size unit. This is on apartment 101, Q1 on Monterey. So it's priced at 532,000. Again, if you go to the major cities, in such prime location, this price is really, really attractive. All right. This unit also comes with 1 car space. All right. Total internal size slightly over 100 square meters. That is well above 1,000 square feet. That's what we commonly know, or known in Singapore. We use by square feet, but in Australia we use square meters. Coming with a good size of the external balcony as well. Let's have a quick look at the layout. As you can see, the 2 bedrooms side by side, but with 1 ensuite. All right, and also looking at the common bath is not too far away from the 2nd bedroom. And it really Frasers development, how they actually lay out the units. It's very well spaced, very airy, give it a lot of space to the dining area, to the living area, as well as the kitchen. All right, I can even spot a separate a little separate laundry room to put the washer and the dryer, because many a times I have come across units that their washing machine and dryer is actually part of their bathroom. You see, so this is a very squarish, very attractive to the Asian markets. All right, and then again, this is a 2 bed, 2 bath with 1 car space. Lowest price unit at 532. Now next up, I'd like to quickly mention about another 2 bed, 2 bath with 1 car space. This is really top of the of all the other units, because this unit actually comes with good views, very open up, unblocked, out to the Queen's Garden. All right, by looking at the layout, you can see it really features a very big open terrace. All right, now on this note, I really like to debunk the part about a lot of Asian purchasers will complain, say that the terrace is so big, it's a waste of space. But please, no. All right, Australians love the outdoor, love the open terraces. And in fact, speaking of Perth, they are at the same time zone. The weather is much more accommodating. All right, the Australians, the residents, even the new immigrants to the Australians, they love to be seen outside with a good sized terrace. They can put a good table. They have their breakfast in the morning. They can sip wine in the evening and enjoy the views. Yeah. All right. So with this 2 bed, 2 bath, is also with 1 ensuite. Also feature a walk-in wardrobe for the master ensuite. And again, the 2nd bedroom is not too far from the common bath. All right, and separate this laundry area. All right, and you can see that it's very good. Even a good segregation of the living area space, and a living space, and then followed by the kitchen area, and then the dining space there as well. All right, so this is a fantastic big size unit. All right, 109 with a better unblocked view. So actually, I want to welcome Joaquin back. Probably, I'm not sure whether he wants to tell us more about the views. Yep. Joaquin, you have been to Perth, all right? And tell us more. This this location is fabulous.
Well, this location, to be honest, it's heads down. It's you are just right next to Swan River, and also right behind you, you have this Queen's Garden itself. And this unit in particular, I would say that a lot of clients would actually love it because, to be honest, a lot of our clients who purchased in Queen's Riverside previously, most of them are actually hoping for a view towards the Queen's Garden because, as you can see earlier in the Marianne video, they actually take a high snapshot about the whole Queen's Garden. It looks fantastic, and it's very, very well kept. So if I'm not mistaken, in this unit itself, you can also have a slanted view towards the Mata Garut Bridge, which is the bridge connecting to the Burswood itself. So all in all, I would say this is one of the, if let's say your clients is looking for view and stuff like that, I believe this is one of the, to consider units of all. Yep.
Okay, to add on, actually, we do have a virtual link.
Virtual tour, yeah.
The virtual tour. So that actually, if anyone of the audience actually interested to look at the virtual tour, you can get in touch with us. Then we can guide you through on the actual feeling of the whole unit. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, fabulous. Now, before we move on, there's some more things to share.
Yeah.
Yep. So this is actually the schedule of finishes for the Queen's 1 building itself. So basically, just now I have already highlighted most of the appliances. So all the electronic appliances are actually SMAC appliances, and also first, I believe a lot of clients will ask whether it's actually it's a split heating and cooling system or what. But this Frasers, this Queen's Riverside itself is actually ducted, so it's throughout the whole units. Yep. So so basically at this point, this is actually the rental appraisal that we are having in Queen's Riverside itself. So in Q1, 1 bed you're looking around 380 to 400 per week itself, and 2 bed 2 bath you're looking approximate 480 to 500, and 3 beds from 550 onwards. So this is actually the rental that we are actually fetching in Queen's Riverside from our previous purchaser. So yep, and currently we are also offering some of the rental guarantee, which I will show. I will let Jeff and Henry to share with you all more about the incentive. Yep. So I guess these are some of the pictures that actually I took when I was there back in 2019. So all these are not artist impression, just for your information. It's all taken from my phone itself. So as you can see, the greenery itself, that's where Queen's Garden is located. So it's just less than 5 minutes walk from Q1, just across the road. There you go. That's the Queen's Garden. And also Waka Stadium is just right next to each other. Yep. And for you to walk to Swan River, it probably takes you approximate 5 minutes. I guess it's only like 500 to 600 meters away from Queen's Riverside. You just need to cross 2 streets, and that's the Swan River in front of you. Yep. So yep. So basically, that's all for my presentation today. So I will pass back the screen to Henry and Jeff. So back to you guys.
All right. Thank you, Joaquin. All right. As mentioned, before we move on to the Q&A session, we would like to share the fabulous attractive incentive that we have for this weekend for the large number of attendees that actually join us this Saturday afternoon. All right, as mentioned in our marketing email, all right, for this Frasers development, the developer is actually very generous to give a rebate of this stamp duty savings, stamp duty levy. All right, as not sure how many investors are aware that as foreign purchasers, beside paying the normal stamp duty for the purchase of property in Australia, in Perth there is also the additional foreign levy of 7%. But with this Frasers development, all right, the vendor is going to rebate this 7% FRB as settlement. Now, give you some indication numbers that a quick calculation. Just now on the 1 bed 1 bath, it was 322. Allowed me to take 300,000. If you take that by 7%, you have a rupee savings of more than 21,000 or close to like 22,000 of stamp duty savings. All right. But if you look at the 500, the 2-bed 2-bath above 500,000 units, all right, that's a savings of like 500 times 7. That's almost like 35,000 of stamp duty savings. Now with that, we even bring you even more good news for this weekend only. For those attendees that join us today, all right, let us know your interest. All right, talk to your sales consultant. The developers are actually ready to provide you a 2 years rental guarantee, and that is 5%. All right, we all know with the current situation of this COVID pandemic, still out there. I really see that the developer Fraser actually really want to put a lot of trust into purchasers. They are ready to guarantee this rental, and not forgetting this development is completed. That means you need not wait for the off the plan. You need not wait for construction progress. All right, you are ready with the tenant income. All right, and the other good news is this development actually have gotten the FRB approval, blanket approval, meaning that any foreign purchasers that wants to buy Australian properties, you need not pay the 5,800 application fee. All right, how that sounds?
So basically, a lot of savings for you guys to consider.
It is. All right.
And I will have to highlight this. This is by far one of the most generous incentive that we are offering throughout all our developments. So So basically, this incentive is only available for a period of time. So please act fast if let's say you are really interested. Yep. So please feel free to reach out to any one of us. Like Henry is actually based in Singapore, and Jeff is based in KL. And myself, if let's say you are in Singapore itself, just let me know. I can actually always meet up with you and Henry for one-to-one meetings and stuff, because I also based in Singapore at this point. Yep.
Sorry for the noise. And then just to quickly add on as well, as what we know, why we bring this development, why we feature this development this weekend, because we know that Perth has been, I'll put it this way, all right? Perth market is actually really the top hotspots for Singaporeans and Malaysians, all right? Not really for the other countries, for the other Australian cities. So really, grab the opportunity, speak to the sales consultant. We'll follow up, and maybe we move on to the next segment. Jeff, is there anything that actually... Let's look at some questions that we have.
Move on to the Q&A session. So, So let's see. So we have a question from a Malaysian client. So, can I get loan for this project? Like, is Singapore bank or Malaysia bank or even Australia bank? So, what's the loan to value ratio? So, maybe Joaquin, you can answer this. Right?
Okay, so I mean, like well, you can actually get the finance from Malaysia Bank, because if I'm not mistaken, actually Maybank is actually providing some finance for few of our purchaser in Malaysia itself, for Queen's Riverside itself, and we also have a few Maybank workers, with Maybank staff actually purchased in Queen's Riverside previously. So, you can actually speak to Maybank and just check with them what sort of rates they are offering at this point. Mm-hmm. And for Australia Bank itself, we are looking at, if let's say you're a premium customer for HSBC, mm-hmm. I believe the HSBC Australia can actually provide you the finance. But, so if you need any contacts of the funders, I believe Jalin, they have their own contacts as well. So maybe just feel free to chat with them and check out the latest promotion package that they have. Yep. So in short, yes, you can definitely get a finance. No worry about it. So there's quite a number of readily financed financial out there that are ready to finance these projects. Yep.
Okay, allow me to add on because we have seen a second question that's actually following up from the first question, and I'd like to address on the Singapore part. Just now, Joaquin, you mentioned that for Malaysia, there is this one of the many banks is Maybank. For Singapore, definitely, I believe one of the main criteria is going to be a Singaporean or Singapore PR. I've spoken to the local banks like OCBC and CIMB. They can finance Perth apartments. But I believe the banks actually have some more criteria, as in the distance of the developments. But for this Frasers development, is 2.5 kilometers. It's very near to the city. I'm pretty sure they can finance it. All right. And to address the second question that comes in, whether foreigners can get loan from Australian bank, yes. Again, as mentioned, Jardine Realty, we do have our in-house mortgage broker. So let us know your requirements. We can actually hook you up with our mortgage broker to share with you, and for you to compare between whether to take a local loans versus to take a loan from the Australian side. All right. Yeah. So whether
and to tap on that basis, we also have a few Singaporean clients actually gotten their finance from Maybank Singapore as well.
Yeah.
For Queen's Riverside. So yes, you can. So basically, you can get finance from Singapore or Malaysia or even in Australia itself. Yeah.
Okay, we have a next question, right? Whether foreigners can sell property to local. Well, for this customer, I think let me tweak the questions a little bit and the answer as well. Actually, to buy Australian properties, foreigners can buy Australian properties, but for the resale, we can only sell it to the locals, Australians, PRs, New Zealanders, and also some special visas as well. All right, so the answer is actually can only sell to the locals. And I have another question here. Does residents in Q1 can go to the facilities in Q3?
Yep. So basically, the facility, although it's all located in Q3 itself, so all the residents in Queen's Riverside can actually access to the facility. So they have their own touch access, the key access card. So basically, what they need to do is just walk across to use the facility itself. Yep.
Okay.
I think I have another question here to Wai Kin also. As I think you presented just now, the vacancy rate in Perth is pretty low at the moment. So
yep.
how about the vacancy rate in Queen Riverside, this particular?
Yeah, so good question. So basically, at this point, all of the units that has been sold, yep, it's all tenanted at this point. So only these few units that are not sold at this point, it's of course it's still available on the market itself. But I would say the vacancy rates in Queens itself, it's probably close to zero. Yeah, I don't have the exact figure, but from my understanding, based on my discussion with my colleagues last time, all the unit that has been sold, and if let's say those are investor stocks, all has been rented out, and most of the tenancy lasted for more than a year. There's no short-term lease and stuff at this point into Queens. Yeah.
All right. Can we take this probably the last question? What is the exit strategy for this purchase? Wai Kin, you like to address that?
Sorry, pardon? The exit strategy?
Exit strategy for this purchase.
I would not, to be honest, if you ask me about investing in Australia itself, I don't usually recommend you to so fast think about the exit strategy itself, because in Australia, the property itself is actually slow and steady, as you know. So usually what I would advise my client is to keep your property. If let's say they are making a good income for you, if let's say they're fetching a very good rents and stuff, what's the point of you selling it off? And I would rather you to think about refinancing the properties, cash out the cash to actually reinvest in some others investment, like probably in others properties. Yep. Instead of selling it off. But if let's say you were to ask about the exit strategy itself, taxes is one of it. I mean, I saw the clients actually asking about the taxes itself. So there's actually a few things that you can actually consider. But of course, I'm not going to highlight about. I mean, to tell you the entire how the tax work, because it's not my job anyway. You need to appoint a tax agent to actually to work on your tax itself. And one of the things that you should look at is actually the tax depreciation schedule. So that actually will help you a lot when you're exiting the purchase itself. Yep. Okay,
I'd like to add on my 2 cents worth. Also, I do agree with Wai Kin. All right, for over the last 7 years that with Jardine, I've seen like probably half or almost one cycle of the property cycle. Australian, but a lot of investors ask me that similar question as well. What is the exit strategy and stuff? What we share with them is, and what we advocate is, buying into Australian properties is actually a mid to long term hold. All right, it is. You won't see Australian property as really a speculative product, because the moment when we talk about speculative product, you can buy, you can sell, you sell options. You know, you straight away sell once it's completed. It's going to bring you like a roller coaster ride. Of course, when you hit a jackpot, the price, you know, can goes up tremendously. But that also means that when the market were to come down, it's really, you know, bad for the investors. So why not consider something that is slow and steady, as what Waikin has mentioned, for a mid to long term hold? But to really address this question as in the exit strategy, and in due time, whenever investors decide to sell their Australian properties, what we Jardine Realty can offer, as you remember right from the start of the presentation, we have an office in Australia, in Melbourne at the moment. We provide end-to-end solutions, not just sales and marketing of projects. We have leasing. At this moment, of course, we handle leasing in Melbourne, but not forgetting we have our resale department. So we can also assist customers to help them to resale. And again, with this, not just about the pandemic situation, I have seen the evolution of internet that actually brings the whole world smaller. We can even put auctions online. All right, online, of course, with the proper registration of you know, the correct buyers to come online and they start to bid for your Australian properties. Of course, like I said, for the Australian properties, you can only sell back to the local Australians, PRs. So they need to register. They need to get their, you know, finance ready, because in the auction kind of situation scenario, once the hammer goes down or once the auctioneer goes, you know, that's it. The deal goes to that. It's kind of an unconditional kind of a sale. All right. So I hope that kind of answers the question to this client. All right, and okay, last question for this webinar. If I get a unit, who will get me a tenant and be the property manager at what commission? I believe that is at what property management fees or property management rate. So I think, Waikin, you'd like to take this last question?
Yeah, so if let's say, you know, I'm not so sure, because I think Jardine Realty, they have their own property management in Australia as well. So if let's say, you know, the clients would like to appoint our own in-house property management, because we do have our own property management in Perth, Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane. So if you need our assistance, or, you know, to help you to lease out your properties, yes, we can. And the Perth property management fee, if I'm not mistaken, is about 8 or 8.5% from the rental itself. Yep. So if you are actually, you know, as mentioned by Henry earlier, we are actually offering some rental guarantee at this point. So if you are opting for the rental guarantee, then yes, it will be managed by Frasers Property Management itself. Yep. Hope that answers your question. Yep.
Before we go, Jeff, anything you'd like to add on?
No, I think that's about it for today. So just for the audience, so please reach out to us so that we can show you more about the details of the project. So if you are interested to get a unit, then we can discuss on one-to-one session. So yeah, just reach out to us. Yeah.
Yep. So we have all the units in virtual reality. So basically, if you want to check out the current condition of the property itself, yes, you can actually. I believe Jeff and Henry can actually show you the virtual tour itself. Yep. It's taken just, I think, last week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yep. It's very recent. Yep.
All right. So with that, I think I'd like to you know, we can, you know, end this webinar, and really thank you again for those who actually joined us today, and thank you, Waikin, for
thank you. Have a nice day, guys, and thank you everyone for joining the webinar.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a nice weekend.
Everyone.
Bye.